Hello everyone, welcome back to Excel series episode number 6. And today's learning we are going to see what are pivot tables are. And imagine if you have a Excel file with 500 rows of sales data and you want to check how much did each region sell or which product earned the highest revenue or how many orders came from a Bangalore region itself. Would you go and calculate everything manually? No, right? It takes a time. So, would you write complicated formulas? You could do that, but there's a much easier way than that. It's called a pivot table. And don't worry, if you have never heard this term before, by the end of this video, you will be able to create a pivot table on your own, even if you have never been used Excel before. So, before clicking on any buttons, let's understand what a pivot table actually is. So imagine you have a notebook with 500 pages. So every page contains a information. Now suppose your teacher asks you how many boys are in the class. Instead of reading every page, you make a summary. A pivot table does exactly the same. So, in simple terms, if you like a pivot table summarizes a large amount of data. Let's go back to our data set. This is the data set we are going to work on today. Don't panic when you see a lot of rows, and we are not going to read every row. The pivot table will do that for us. So, before going to create a pivot table, let's understand that this is in the table format, right? Which has filled every row, every column. So now I'll go ahead and proceed with the pivot table. Now insert your cell anywhere in the table and go to insert and just click on pivot table icon. Now you get a pop-up saying that table or range selected the your table format. So when it gets selected, you can see the dotted lines around the table, which table has been selected. And you will get the range here A1 to L201 where my table data has been available. So here, if you want the pivot table in existing worksheet or new worksheet, you can select it here. Now I am placing it in the new worksheet for our convenience and click on OK. So this is the screen for the pivot table, and you will on the right hand side you will find the pivot table fields. This screen confuses almost everyone, but after today you will never be afraid of it again. So here we have four fields here, stating from filters, columns, rows, and values, and this represents like columns headers of my table format, order ID, order date, customer city. These are all the columns headings, and this is the search. You can search any column here. Now, going back to the four fields, coming to the rows. Rows answer the question that what do you want to group from your data set, from your columns, which one you are want to grouping. For example, do you want to group by a region or product or any customer or a city or a category, which one you want to group by? Now we'll see how it works. I want a region, right? Either I can click here searching region or I can drag it here and I can find the region. Now click on region and drag to rows. So now you understand how the grouping happens, right? So region is nothing but like it's east, north, south, and west. So it just grouped all the east and all the north and all the south and west into the one category. This is how rows helps us. And coming to the values, values answer the question that Like, what do you want to calculate? Uh, think about it like this. Like, rows will help us for the quantity, quantify, like, and this one is quantity. Values is for the quantity. Now, I want to calculate how much sales happen for a given region, or I want to see how many quantities has been done for the each region, or the orders has been taken. Now I will see the how much quantity, like how much sum or how much average or how much percentage has been done by a particular region or a particular product or a particular category. I will go ahead and keep it in the values. So here I want to see the sales of each region. So I'll just go here and I'll drag sales to the values. See, it says that East region has sum of sales, that is 20 lakhs 53,980 sales has been done only particular of the East region. Coming to the North is like one 18 lakhs 19,120. Same as for the South and then West. It says that without writing a single formula, Excel has already calculated the total sales for every region. This is why companies love pivot tables. Maybe I don't want total sales. Maybe I want to know how many orders came from each region. Then click fields. Here, a small drop down button is there. No, just click on that and click on value field settings. Now I want to choose the count. Here you can find various value fields, right? Like sum, count, average, maximum, minimum, product, and many count numbers, standard deviation, and all, right? So from that, I want to choose the count because I want to see the count of the sales. Here also custom name is count of sales. Then okay, see, so 52 count of sales has been done in East, and following with the 54 in the North, 44 in the South, and 49 in the West. This is how you have to use the pivot table for the count, sum, and if I want to see uh, percentage or average, maximum, minimum, then I'll click on average and see average of the sales and maximum sales and minimum sales. Just go here and click on that maximum number of sales. Not this is how it works. Now I think we are going well. Now here we have, going ahead, we have a columns. So rows compare vertically and columns compare horizontally. Let's see. We are going to, let me keep this in the sum. For example, let me drag category into the columns. See, in the East region, how many accessories has been done? How many electronics has been done? How many furniture sales has been done? How many office supplies has been done? So columns compare horizontally. Now we can compare like electronics, accessories side by side. So that's how it works. That's it. Now going further for the filters. Filter is nothing but, suppose your boss says, show me only South region. Do you delete other rows? If you want the South, he just asks for the South, right? Do you delete East, North, West? No, right? You have to keep those rows as well. Never delete, okay? So drag region into filters again. Got it? So here you'll find the filter options. So now from this, If you want to see south, just click on south and click on OK. You can see only the south region ka sum of sales. That's it. That's how the filters works, rows, values, columns works for you guys. And now, how this works in your real time life. Like, see, imagine you're working in a company. Your manager asks you how many revenue came from electronics, who bought the most, which city generated the highest sale. Instead of spending on hard writing formulas, you just create a pivot tables. Now it takes less than a 1 minute, is it? So I want to go and check for one more thing. Now here I can also see select multiple items, right? Instead of selecting only north, south, west. Now I want to check for the two regions. Then I'll select on the select multiple items and then I'll select for required uh, region and then click on OK. So this is how it works. Now I don't want filters. Then I'll just remove the filters. I'll keep on the rows. Perfect, right? So now going back to the our data sheet, I want to add a new row. Okay, let me add a new row and show the pivot table how it works. So I just want to add here for your understanding. Just I'm adding here with the 1000 order number, order ID, and order date is just about the date, and then name is Joshna, and then city is Bangalore, and maybe the region is for East, electronics, computer, a monitor, salesperson is Ramesh, quantity is maybe 2, unit price is let's say 10,000, sales price is let's say 3,000, and then profit is let's say 100. Yes. So here we have added the row. Let's go and check how it changes in the uh, pivot table. So earlier also I have kept the regional east, right? Earlier also east ka grand total is 20 lakhs 53,980 if you remember, right? Even I added the row. Is there any change in the pivot table? It doesn't change anything. Many beginners think pivot tables update automatically. They don't. Just go back to your pivot table, click on right click, and do refresh. See, now you can see the change, right? Earlier it is 20,053. Now, sorry, 20 lakhs 53,000. Now it is 20 lakhs 56,000. So now it's updated. Let's avoid the mistakes every beginner makes. Blank rows, blank column names. Some people won't keep the headers, okay? Just keep something header for your easy convenience and don't leave any rows just uh, as your for your understanding make it complete and duplicate headers if it is here city and here is also city, please don't repeat any header and forgetting refresh. Even though they updated something in the new table, they forgot refreshing in the pivot table to update and text started as numbers. So these are the common mistakes that people usually do for the pivot tables. And for you, a quick challenge here. Just pause the video and Let's check for like even can you find for total sales by products or average sales by region or number of orders by a category. Just pause the video and try now. Let's go back and what we learned today. We can see here. Um, Here we have four fields. So rows is grouping the data, column is comparative for the data, and value is calculating purpose, and filter shows the selected data. So think of your pivot tables like building the blocks, each blocks. Congratulations, you just learned one of the most valuable Excel skill used in almost every office. If you practice this just 2 or 3 times, you will never fear pivot tables again. In the next video, we will make pivot tables even more powerful by adding pivot charts and slicers. If this video helped you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone learning Excel. Thank you so much.